answers to the 513 review preview. Problem 548 says two function machines, f of x equals 5x minus 3 and g of x equals x plus x minus 1 squared are shown at right. Suppose f of 3, not x equals 3, is dropped into the g of x machine. This is written as g of f of 3. What is the output? So in order to do this problem, the first thing we're going to do is replace 3 in f of x. So I'm going to do 5 times 3 minus 3, which is 15 minus 3, or 12. And then I'm going to replace 12 in the g of x. 12 minus 1 squared, 11 squared, which is 121. So for part B, it says using the same function machine, what is f of g of 3? Be careful, the result is different from the last one because the order in which you use the machines has been switched. F of g of 3, first you would find g of 3 and then substitute in. So we're going to substitute 3 in of g of x. So I'm going to get 3 minus 1 squared, or 4 squared, which is 16. And then I'm going to plug, 3 minus 1 squared, which is 2 squared, which is 4. And then I'm going to plug 4 in for f of x. So I'm going to do 5 times 4 minus 3, or 20 minus 3, which is 17. So problem 49, it says this problem is a checkpoint for multiplying polynomials. It will be referred to as checkpoint 5a. Multiply and simplify each expression below. So in order to do these problems, we could make boxes. So for a, I'm going to get x and 1 and 2x squared and negative 3. So I get 2x cubed, 2x squared, negative 3x, and negative 3. So I get 2x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 3. For B, I can also use a generic rectangle. This time, though, I'm going to have 3 rows instead of 2. So x and 1, so x squared, negative 2x, and 3. So I'm going to get x cubed, x squared, negative 2x squared, negative 2x, 3x, and 3. So I can't combine anything with x cubed. So I get x cubed, x squared minus 2x squared is minus x squared. Negative 2x plus 3x is plus x plus 3. So C, I could start with the generic rectangle and do x plus 3 and x plus 3. So I get x squared, 3x, 3x, and 9. And then I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So I'm going to get 2x squared, 6x and 6x are going to give me 12x plus 18. And then D, first I can do it with 2 generic rectangles. First I have to do 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. So I'm going to get 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. So then I have x plus 1, and then I'm going to have 4x squared, negative 12x, and 9. So I get 4x cubed, 4x squared, negative 12x squared, negative 12x, 9x, and 9. So my final answer is going to be the 4x cubed can't be combined with anything, but 4x squared and negative 12x squared is going to give me a negative 8x squared. Negative 12x and 9x is going to be a negative 3x plus 9. Okay, problem 50, solve each equation, choose at least one to do. So for this problem, I'm going to do all 3. So I'm going to multiply across first, so cross multiply. So I'm going to get 12x equals 5x minus 10. So then I'm just going to solve. Subtract 5x. I'm going to get 7x equals negative 10. Divide by 7. So I get x equals negative 10 sevenths. Problem B, so I imagine there's a 1 underneath. So I multiply, so I get 4x minus 1 equals 3x squared. So then I'm going to solve it for, let's set it equal to 0. So 0 is going to equal, I'm going to subtract everything to the next side. So I get 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. So I'm going to factor it. So I'm going to get 3x and x, 1 and 1. I need a negative in the middle, so that means they're both going to be negative. So then x is going to equal a positive 1/3 or a positive 1. So for C, I'm going to get rid of the denominators. So I'm going to multiply everything by 15. So 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 2x is 6x. Minus 5, because 3 goes into 15 5 times. Equals 5 times 137. 15, 16, 18, which is 685. Solve, so I have 5 to both sides. I get 6x equals 690. Divide both sides by 6. I get x equals 115. For D, I'm also going to cross multiply. So I get 4x minus 1 equals x plus 1 times x minus 1 is a difference of 2 squares. So I get x squared minus 1. So I'm going to move everything over to set it equal to 0. So I end up with x squared minus 4x plus 0, so it equals 0. Factor out an x. So x is going to equal 0 or 4. For 51, find the inverse of each of the following functions by first switching x and y and then solving for y. So for the first one, it's going to be x equals y squared plus 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 first. Then I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So y is going to equal the square root x minus 3. For B, I get x equals 1/4 y plus 6 cubed. So first thing I'm going to do is cube root both sides. So I get the cube root of x, 1/4 y plus 6. So subtract 6. So I get the cube root of x minus 6 equals 1/4 y. I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So I get 4 groups of the cube root of x minus 6 equals y. Okay, so for C, I'm going to get x equals square root of 5y minus 6. So square both sides. So x squared equals 5y minus 6. Add 6 to both sides. X squared plus 6 equals 5y. Divide both sides by 5. So I'm going to get y equals x squared plus 6 divided by 5. For 54, perform each operation below and simplify your results. So for A, I'm multiplying. So the first thing I'm going to do is factor. So I factor the top. And I get x plus 3, x plus 1. So I factor the bottom as well. I pull out an x. I get x plus 3. So then I'm going to cross out diagonally. So x plus 1's cancel, x plus 3's cancel, and an x cancels. So I just get 3. For B, I'm going to first subtract because they have a common denominator. So I get y squared minus 16 over y plus 4. And I notice the top is a difference of 2 squares. So I get y minus 4 y plus 4 over y plus 4. These cancel, so my answer is y minus 4. So I'm dividing in C, so I'm going to factor everything as I flip it over, because multiply, keep, change, flip. So I get x on the top I can pull out, get x plus 1. On the bottom, when I factor it, I'm going to get x and 5 and 1. So I'm going to negative 5 plus 1 times, I'm going to flip it, and the x minus 5 is going to go on top. 3x squared on the bottom. So then I can cross out the x plus 1s, the x minus 5s, and an x. So my answer is 1 over 3x. Last problem D, I'm adding. So the denominators are the same, so they're just going to stay. X squared minus 4x plus 4. On top, I'm going to get x squared. Negative 6x plus 4 is going to be negative 2x. So I'm going to see if I can simplify. The top, I'm going to pull out an x. X minus 2. The bottom, I factor to get x minus 2 times x minus 2. One set cancels out. So I'm left with x over x minus 2.